All right, now joining us in the broadcast, we've got Mr. Ron Alito, who's a former American military officer, a former CIA contractor, and a former intelligence and operations officer at the Pentagon, and currently the chief executive officer of Miami Intelligence Agency. Mr. Alito, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on WION. Now, looking at the scale and magnitude of these Israeli attacks, and also in the light of what the American President Donald Trump has put out on his Truth Social post, where he says that he had given an ultimatum of 60 days to the Iranians. Today is day 61, and therefore the attacks happened. In your assessment, to what extent were the Americans involved in these attacks that were staged by the Israelis?
I don't think the United States was involved at all in this attack. Perhaps the United States received a courtesy notification from Israel just a few hours before the attack happened, like just to inform them, hey, we are going to attack Iran in the next couple hours. But I don't think the United States was actually involved in the planning and execution of this attack. I don't think the involvement of the United States was there.
Now,
you need to understand something.
Mr. Alito, considering the level of dependency there is by the Israelis on American weapons, on American satellite data, considering the logistics that would be involved, how much do you think the Americans would have been a part of the planning process? Because the Americans would not have known this just a few hours before Israel pulled this off. They would have known this well before that.
I don't think that the United States was involved in the planning of this. You need to understand that Israel has amazing intelligence capabilities.
Right.
They have been attacking Iran, assassinating scientists and assassinating high value people and destroying high value targets for many years. You need to understand that Israel is trying to sabotage the peace negotiations or the nuclear negotiation between the United States and Iran. Israel, specifically Netanyahu and the Likud, they cannot allow the United States to sign any agreement with Iran. And this is the main purpose of this attack, to sabotage those talks between the United States and Iran. Obama signed an agreement like that 10 years ago, and it was terrible for Israel, terrible for the Likud. And now Netanyahu is trying everything he can to prevent the United States from signing an agreement with Iran about the nuclear power, the nuclear energy. And this is the main purpose of this operation: sabotage and prevent an agreement, a treaty between the United States and Iran.
Interesting that you say that Israel is trying to sabotage any possible understanding between the Iranians and the Americans for a nuclear deal. So my follow-up question to you is this. The Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says that Operation Rising Lion is not over, it will continue. To what extent do you think the Israelis are willing to go ahead in this attack, which clearly is likely to elicit an Iranian response?
Yes, and Netanyahu said that not in Hebrew, but he said it in English, because he wants the American people and he wants the American politicians to hear his message loud and clear. The message was not for the Israeli people, the message was for the American people. And what he wants to do, he wants to provoke now an attack from Israel from Iran into Israel. He wants to provoke a very strong attack from Iran, so then he can rally the American politicians and the American people into joining him, into drag the United States into a further attacks into Iran. That had been the dream of Netanyahu for the last 20 years, to drag the United States into attacking Iran directly. And he expects now a very strong response from Iran, and once that happens, he's going to use that to drag the United States, to put pressure on President Trump to join the United States into the attacks, direct attacks in Iran. That has been Netanyahu's dream for the last 20 years or so.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Alito, for joining us with that perspective and giving us all those details there.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.